What's good, everybody? My name is Gentleman Jugg.
And I'm Son.
And welcome back to another Gentleman Juggcast. This is episode 61. How you doing today, boy?
I'm good.
Good. So, we got another one to talk about this week. What's that movie, boy?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers 2017.
I saw this one in theaters.
I did too. I saw it in theaters as well. Normally, we break off into doing wrestling, but if you've been looking at our YouTube content, you notice that we took all that stuff off the Juggcast and started putting it on YouTube exclusively, so we ain't talking about wrestling here.
No more world wrestling.
No. Well, you say that on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Okay. The good news about that is we can just get into this movie.
Yeah.
But first, I got some numbers. Okay. As I said, this movie came out in 2017, and it cost about $105 million to make, and it only made $142 million. Not enough to generate a sequel.
I mean, it came out in 2017. They didn't even get a Fortnite skin.
No, they got nothing. No, it made, like, I don't know, a little bit of a profit. You know, when you bring out movies like these, if you want to get a sequel, people got to go see these movies. And this didn't cut it. Even though it was hyped up, it just didn't cut it.
Not enough power.
Nah, not at all. One of the things that I know, you know, I just realized what you just said, and it was funnier than I would like to admit. I didn't hear it. Then I did hear it. I heard what you said, boy, and I missed it.
That one snuck up on you.
Yeah, it did sneak up on me. One of the things I don't know about all the stories, but one of the stories I do know is that Bryan Cranston is in this movie as the character Zordon. Now, me and your uncle, we used to watch Power Rangers when we were kids.
Yeah, so did I, kind of.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which this one is based off of.
Oh, well, I mean, those are pretty good, though.
Yeah, they were very good. I liked them, especially in the movie. That movie came out. You know, it was dope. For me, it was, anyways. I mean, I was young. I was like in the fifth or sixth grade when the show came out, actually. Apparently, Bryan Cranston, old Heisenberg himself, he played a few monster voices in that show. And so I guess since they gave him his first kind of break to do anything, he decided, well, I get to play. Let me play Zordon. And they're like, yeah, you can play Zordon.
I'm like, Heisenberg.
Well, I mean, it'd probably be Zordenberg. But that sounds more like a Futurama character, like Dr. Zoidberg, but whatever. So let's get into this movie, son. This movie kicks off as an origin story to the Power Rangers, and I understand why they did it, even though I don't think you really need to do an origin story of the Power Rangers.
I mean, when I started watching them, I was watching, like, Power Rangers Samurai, and I never saw the first episode or last episode. I just jumped in and was like, I guess I'll just watch from this point.
Yeah.
And I didn't even miss anything.
Well, I mean, there were, like, important parts in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that happened because, like, the show feels like it was on forever, even though it only had 3 seasons as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Maybe it's just because there's a lot of episodes in one season.
I have to assume that. I don't remember, but I remember it being on for what seemed like forever. You know, and the same people most of the same people who were the Power Rangers were still the Power Rangers, you know, but anyways, so we see a Red Ranger on the ground, beaten up. You know, explosions happen in the background. Crawling away until he comes across the Yellow Ranger, who demorphs, and he takes that one's power crystal. I guess that one was a female. I'm guessing. You know, I have no idea what sexuality that Ranger was, but I assume it was a female. Anyways, we find out that this Power Ranger, the Red Ranger, is actually Zordon. The Ranger that started this devastation was Rita Repulsa. And She comes out and she, says her evil spiel. Turns out that Rita Repulsa is the Green Ranger of this time, which is not even remotely close to how the TV show was.
I mean, you're going to hear this a lot, but I like the show better.
I like the show better too, son. This movie had the opportunity to impress me.
I mean, they open like the inside of like a bucket or something, and she came out, and I was like, that's somehow better than this.
It was actually, that was supposed to be a space dumpster on the moon, is what I believe that's what the correct terminology is, a space dumpster.
Yeah, and they opened it, and she came out, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, and I like that, and I find that this trying to retell that story. Well, let's keep going. So, a comet comes and kills both Rita and Zordon, and then the movie starts.
She like falls into the water.
Yeah, because this is on Earth like 65 million years ago when dinosaurs are there, and that comet, I guess killed Zordon and maybe Rita. I guess. I mean, she comes back, but obviously, but
like, why not? I guess.
Yeah, why not? So. We cut to 2017. I guess that's the time period this movie takes place in. We see a young Jason. His name is, the guy who plays him is, I hope I don't screw it up. His name is Dacre Montgomery of Stranger Things. He's running away. Like, he apparently is stealing like the mascot of a rival team that he plays for. He's stealing it. Their mascot apparently is a cow. And this cow has been stolen.
His friend milked it.
Well, that's what his friend says. He milked it. And I guess he milked it real good. He jerked off a cow, son.
It was a male goat.
He jerked him off real good.
I mean, that's what I remember from the Power Rangers.
Oh, you remember Jason's friend milking a cow. Okay. Maybe it did happen in an episode. It's been so long since I've seen the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Maybe somewhere in there that is accurate to the source material.
Jump through like 700 episodes of season 1 and you'll find it.
It's there. Yeah. Anyways, I guess the police get notified, so Jason decides to run, and I will say this. I like the camera angle of him in his truck driving, in a small neighborhood and flipping his truck upside down.
It almost gave me hope for a second.
It was all right. I didn't hate it. So now he has an ankle bracelet and has to go to Saturday detention, I guess, to graduate is how they say it. So, you got to go to detention to graduate, dude.
Huh?
Sure, why not?
Oh,
That's how that works.
I guess it's that easy.
He's one of those teens with attitude that Zordon really wants. So detention apparently is in a basement of a school. Getting bullied in that classroom is a young kid named Billy Cranston. This kid is bullying Billy and taking his color pencils and breaking them or whatever. Billy, who's being played by R.J. Seiler. I mean, the Steve Urkel vibes are just, you can just drip that over pancakes.
Yeah.
It's so thick, So then we also get to meet Kimberly, who's being played by, her name is Naomi Scott. She came in with long hair, like really long hair. And then I guess she had some friends, and those friends, talked trash to her. So she went in the bathroom and glamorously cut her hair. She comes out and she looks like she didn't have any help in that bathroom at all cutting her hair. Shows up in detention with short hair all of a sudden. Everybody's like, oh, what'd you do in the bathroom? What do you think she did, dude? But whatever.
I mean, this felt like an hour.
It felt a good while. It felt a real good while.
I was like, yes, my favorite part of Power Rangers, the detention scenes.
Yeah. So Billy and Jason make a friendship, and Jason agrees to hang out with Billy. And the only reason why he's hanging out with Billy is because Billy said, hey, look, if you come to my house, I'll take the ankle bracelet off. And then you can come and borrow this van and go wherever you want to go and just kick it with me, dude. And Jason's like, all right, yeah, fine, whatever. So they create a friendship. We meet another character named Zach. Zach in this movie is being played by, his name is Ludi Lin. And he's basically just stalking this girl named Trini, being played by Becky G.
As he says, he's crazy.
I mean, I don't know how many times he has to say he's crazy. It seems like every time he opens his mouth, he says something like, I'm crazy, or that person's crazy. Every single time. You know.
He just wants to make sure that they know
how crazy he is by saying it 100 times.
Just for like I remember from the Power Rangers.
Well, look. I mean, Zach was played by a black dude, and fine. You know, it is what it is. And I guess in this movie, he gets to be Asian.
And Billy was a white dude. And
yeah, and he's being played by a black dude this time, and fine, whatever. I don't care. I felt that it was very diverse for the time it was. You know, I mean, we had, 3 white people, which eventually turned into 4 white people. And then, you know, a black dude, an Asian girl, and that was about it. It really wasn't as diverse as now that I'm thinking about it. It's like, okay, we got 1 black guy and 1 Asian girl, and that's about all the diversifying we need. Here, at least, you know.
Well, I mean, do they really need it? Because they were most of the time they would be in the costumes, so.
Well, I mean, you know, you want to look at the screen and see you up there, right? You know, whether it's a guy or a girl, you want to see your skin up there. You know, I don't know how well you're going to see your skin, seeing as how, you know, half black and half Asian.
Well, I need to see both halves.
Yeah, you need to well, you did see both halves in this movie. You got to see Zach, who's Asian, and you got to see Billy, who's black.
Yay!
All right, your old Blasian self.
Yep.
Good old Blasian.
Yep. It's funny is that one of them's crazy and one of them's smart.
I mean, look, movies always did that kind of thing. Everybody kind of had to have their individuality, so to speak. You know what I mean? We all had to know what was, you know, who. That's the smart one. That's the muscle-bound one. That's the jock over there. That's the girly girl, and then that's the girl over there who is a smarter version of the girly girl, I guess.
And then there's the dumb dude.
There's always got to be a dumb dude. Somebody who, or if he's not dumb, he's impulsive. He just goes off and just does shit, of which Zach fits a lot of that criteria in this movie.
But he's also crazy.
Well, that's part of it. He's like impulsive. He just goes and does shit, and he's crazy. You know, just so you don't forget, this guy is crazy.
He's the crazy one.
Yeah. So he's also crazy enough to be creeping up on Trini in this movie. At this point in time in the movie, I'm just like, this is boring. You know, here we are in the woods of Angel Grove, I guess.
Like, come on the show, by the time I got to this point, we had like monsters or something, like big CGI fights, some robots, some screaming and stuff.
It was a 30-minute TV show, and I got way more character development and more action in 30 minutes than I have in like the 45 that this movie has been on at this point in time.
Honestly, watching this movie the entire time, I was like, can I just watch that show again?
Pretty much. So Billy blows himself up. He's apparently, you know, looking inside of a mountain because his dad was doing something there, and he blew it up just so he could finally get to it, and the other Rangers show up. This leads Trini and a few others to fall into like a spaceship where they find some power coins. I don't know how they knew that these were coins. They were just glowing. They weren't even discs. They were just glowing pieces of rock that had everybody's color.
It was the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, pretty much the Infinity Stones right there inside this wall. So they grab all of them, and then the cops show up. So then there's a very quick little minivan chase with Jason, who literally just had an accident like maybe a week before.
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 weeks before. Here he is driving somebody else's vehicle, and they decide to go ahead and try to outrun a train in a minivan. And the minivan gets hit by a train.
The Power Rangers.
This is how the movie is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Power Rangers.
In case you didn't know, this show is called the Power Rangers, and all I've seen is no Power Rangers.
So far we saw a guy milk a cow, and then we saw these guys.
Oh no! We didn't see him milk a cow. We were told that. If I would have seen him milk a cow, that would have been more exciting than what I've seen so far. Meanwhile, everybody decides to wake up in their own beds. Somehow they got into their own beds. This is never explained.
It's fine. They're the Power Rangers.
They just say, hey, I woke up in my bed and at least one of them has abs. The rest of them are just, non-ab having people.
Well, that's why he's the leader.
Yeah, he gets to be the only one who has abs.
Well, I mean, he's also the only one who gets to be in 2 car crashes in the same movie.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you should stay away from cars.
They'll give him a Zord later. He's got it.
Be funny if he crashed that too.
Well, we'll get there. I'm sure there's plenty of opportunity to show in the video for this thing. Him being inside of a Zord and crashing it. All 5 of them, realize that they're super strong. They have powers. They can jump over stuff, pretty much like houses and shit.
But we're not shown like the jumping part. We're
told that.
But what we do see is when they break the sink and the water shoots everywhere, and it's supposed to be funny.
He's breaking the sink in his own house, and nobody says nothing about it. Like, you broke a sink in my house, and nothing.
Well, he was playing with the rock, and then it broke the sink.
He just gets up and he goes to school.
He's like, yeah, it's fine, just a sink.
Did I mention how boring this movie is?
It's the Power Rangers.
Yeah. In any case, so we get more exposition. I don't really care to explain it. Everyone's powerful, trying to figure out, and then Rita shows up on Jason's dad's shipping boat.
Because why not?
Did I say shipping a boat? That's what I said. Fishing boat. They catch fish on this boat, not ships. So on this fishing boat, his dad finds a body, and they decide to tell the police. And the police officer comes. I guess he's gonna write a report about it. Turns around, and Rita kills him.
Ooh,
scary. So through other stupid events, the Rangers somehow figure that they need to all meet up again, and they just coincidentally show up at the exact same place at the exact same time, talking about how they were in a car crash with a train, and now they have powers. So they end up action climbing. I mean, it's the stupidest looking action climb. It's like they really look like they just run straight, but it's like angled up, so it looks like they're running up a mountain, but whatever.
Yeah, and they had those funny jump scenes.
Yeah, and it ends up with them falling into an underground lake. They then find a command center where Zordon and Alpha 5, being played by Bill Hader, shows up, and I'm still bored. This movie, we're like an hour into this movie. No Power Rangers, nothing. Nobody's said anything. I haven't seen an action scene, really. I hate the look of Alpha 5. I know what Alpha 5 is supposed to look like, and if it was something more similar to that, I would have been okay with it, but this one, no.
Also, it's not the same it's not the same voice,
I can deal with that. They got Zordon being played by Bryan Cranston. I can deal with that. They got all these actors here who are, I guess they're talented. I mean, I know Dacre Montgomery's on well, he was on Stranger Things, and I liked that show. But, I mean, here, I'm just like, what the hell? They're all talented, I guess. Otherwise they wouldn't be in this movie.
He didn't give me the I.
He said it once, but it was stupid.
He was like, I.
Yeah. And I don't care. I don't really care. I hate the look of Alpha. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's no Alpha here.
Rita shows up, and apparently she's collecting gold. She's like killing homeless people and taking their teeth for gold, and then she finally shows up inside of a jewelry or a jeweler, and she asks for gold there, and
It's the best scene.
It is goofy as hell. I mean, she's just eating gold necklaces and then turning them into, I guess, more of her staff, and it looks stupid. I hate it. What the hell is happening here?
And like what she did to the jeweler, she like literally stuck her hands in her mouth.
Just like, let me put my fingers in your mouth. Just let me put my fingers in your mouth.
I was just like, what am I watching, man?
Oh, damn it.
Just how I remember the Power Rangers,
Yeah, so apparently from talking to Zordon, Jason's the leader because he got the red coin. So Jason comes out as the leader, apparently. And here's the deal. He's apparently the leader because he got the red coin. It seems like anybody else could have gotten the red coin and then they would be the leader.
Yeah, but he got the Soul Stone, so...
The Soul Stone isn't red. It's Reality Boy.
Yeah, that's what
but he... that makes him the leader. Like, what if Zach, who's crazy, would have gotten the coin? This would be a totally different team, right?
Yeah, but he's crazy.
Yeah, be a crazy team. Anyways,
this is a crazy movie.
It's like exposition. Another bit of exposition. I can't believe that nothing is happening.
It's funny. It's like it feels like I've watched like nothing happen, but seen so much at the same time.
It's just awful, son. It really is.
And I was like, I think by this point, no, it wasn't at this point yet. But like, I just know around this point, I was like, are they gonna become the Power Rangers?
At some point, they will.
It's like maybe like in the last 30 minutes we'll get the Power Rangers for like just a whole action scene, everything.
Ugh.
It's all building up, is what I thought.
Yeah, I'm not here to sit here and watch a movie that's gonna sit here and give me, a build up to a final scene of just superheroics and that's it. I've seen plenty of freaking MCU movies at this point, even some DCAU movies at this point. Or EU, I'm sorry, and they all have action throughout, and I'm down for that. I'm cool with a good story. I'm cool with all kinds of stuff in this movie, and this stuff right here is just boring. How do you sit there and just build up to one action scene? That's ridiculous. So nothing is happening at all, and all of them are having family problems. I'm like, why is this something that needs to be explained? You could have explained this throughout the entire time with action scenes and all kinds of stuff. But I guess when you got 5 freaking main characters that you have to listen to, this is what you turn in.
We get our campfire story thing, and like we just get everyone's full life story. I'm like, all right, so this is not the Power Rangers, is it?
I don't care. So we finally get to where Rita tells us that she needs to make Goldar so she can find the Zeo crystal, because the 4th season of Power Rangers was Power Rangers Zeo, and but she needs gold, so she starts to hunt for gold, I guess, and Zordon is telling everybody that they got to morph so that way they can turn to the Power Rangers so they can fight Rita, and they get into the morphing grid and they can't do it. It happens to the best of us. Wrong, because the best of us can do this. I can morph. Can you morph, son?
Yeah.
I can morph.
I can morph too.
I can morph myself out of this movie. I can't stand this. It's boring. It's boring. Anyways, they have to train. Because they can't morph, so they got to sit there and train and fight putties.
And then we get the montage.
Yeah, of them just fighting putties.
Now, my favorite thing about this is that, like, they're fighting, and then we just cut them in detention, throwing paper at each other.
Yeah, like ninja paper. That's pretty much what it is. I don't care, man. I really don't care. So, somewhere throughout this montage, Billy manages to find the Zeo crystal location, and it's under a Krispy Kreme. So let's meet the Zords, and then that's it.
Let's meet the Zords, and then Zach, the crazy one, goes for a spin, and he
nearly kills the other Rangers.
He's like, oh, my bad.
You know, so now they're all pissed off each other. And somehow during this, you know, of them being angry with each other, Zordon said, you guys have to trust one another and like each other and blah, 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 blah. And they're about to come to blows. And at this moment, Billy turns into the Blue Ranger.
He morphed.
This is like it feels like about an hour and a half into this movie. This movie's 2 hours long. And it feels like an hour and a half into this movie, we see one Ranger.
I was like, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh.
There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
I think at this moment, I was like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's right. This is a Power Rangers movie.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what I'm watching. I'm watching Power Rangers. Yeah.
And then he loses it immediately.
He can't keep it up. That's funny for me. I'm sorry, son. I'm not even gonna explain it. But
I think the best part about this is like, all right, so you guys did it. Can you do it again? No.
Get out. Get out of my house. That's Zordon. Get out.
It's like
I can't do shit here.
I want to leave too, Zordon.
I want to get out of this movie, man, so bad. Did I mention that I hated Rita?
No.
Whatever. A cop shoots the shit out of her and she makes magic happen. I'm skipping that. So, other Rangers are supposed to get each other, like they're supposed to get to know each other, and it's supposed to be real emotional, and I still don't care. Eventually, the action, I guess, is starting. It's like, it feels like 3 hours into this movie, and the action is finally starting.
It's the Power Rangers.
Yeah, Rita visits Trini. And it looks goofy as hell. I mean, she's interrogating her in her own house, you know, where her family is, her parents, her brothers, you know, they're all in the same house.
At night,
like 3 a.m, and Rita is just throwing this girl around her room.
And there's no one cares.
No one wakes up. No one says anything. Nothing happens.
I guess she really does have family problems.
Yeah, no one cares.
They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so she manages to go and get the other Rangers to meet up at, I guess it was the school football stadium. And they're like, we got to go get Rita because she came to my crib, you know. And so they decide to go to the shipyard where Rita supposedly is. And Rita whips their asses, you know, whatever. And in the ensuing issue after this, Billy manages to get killed, like dead.
Oh no!
Whoops!
And then we got our sad moment, and he's like, "The campfire."
Who the hell said that?
Me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so they carry his body all the way from the shipyard to the command center.
And it's funny how they try to make it sad, but it just wasn't.
Well, you're not even bringing up the other point, boy. They carried his dead body all the way from the shipyard back to the command center.
And they walked
all the way there with his dead body. Okay? And
the Power Rangers.
That's what they do, man. They do stupid things like this, you know. They're teens with attitude, but here they are, you know, asking Zordon for a favor. You know, hey, dude, can you bring this dude back? He's here because of you, you know, and Zordon's like, yeah, sure. So
he does.
When the morphing grid just powers up, you know, the story was that Zordon was going to use them to open the morphing grid so that he could come through and then he could go and take the power coins from them, find other Rangers, and then they will go and take out Rita. But here, he doesn't do that. He's like, you know what? I got the Rangers right here. I'll go ahead and, you know, just bring Billy back. And so he brings Billy back to life, and fine, whatever. Now they can go ahead and become the Power Rangers. And even though Billy was dead, they immediately decide to go ahead and morph.
Like, it's fine, dude. Just
like, he doesn't need a minute.
He's fine.
You know, I mean, he was just dead. He saw the other side. He was there.
Like, well, look, we had to carry him a long way, so he needs to wake up now.
I mean, it's not like the shipyard was like, across the street. We just carried a dead body like 50 miles and climbed over rocks and shit.
Then we brought him back to life, and we're like, let's morph now.
We're gonna morph right now. Because they got her, right? Because Rita is here and shit's happening.
Oh, I thought it's because the movie's almost at the end.
You ain't lying, son. I can't. So they do finally become the Power Rangers, and let's talk about the costumes, son.
Ooh.
I don't know what look they were going for, but this ain't it.
It looks like they have eternity in their chest.
Yeah, that's what you said. It looks like they have eternity from Marvel in their chest, and I don't see that. I see them trying to do like a up-to-date attempt at the Power Rangers, and I can applaud the attempt, but this ain't it.
I didn't applaud.
No. They're just applaud. Not working for me, son. It just not at all.
I mean, like, the only thing that looks like Power Ranger to me is the head.
That's really it.
I was like, if you take off the head and just replace it with something else, that's not a Power Rangers outfit at all.
I mean, like, were they all Iron Man? I don't know. I don't care.
No, Iron Man's better than them.
He's cooler than this. So, anyways, Rita finally brings Goldar out, and he's giant, and I hate his look. I liked his look on the TV show better. That's just what it is. Because he was a character, not an entity like they have it here. Then putties attack, and the Power Rangers fight him. And here we go. It's action, right? Action! For 6 seconds.
Oh, and the best part is they were playing the Power Rangers theme.
Yeah, when they went to go get their freaking Zords to go take on, I guess, Goldar.
You were like for 5 seconds.
I was like, yeah. Here we go. We got the music. 6 seconds. And it was over.
And like, all right, this is the real Power Rangers theme.
So,
whatever. The Kanye West one.
So Rita decides to make more putties to take out the people of Angel Grove.
I don't even like how the putties look.
I thought Angel Grove was a city.
So did I.
Because in the Power Rangers show from when I was a kid, the Megazord is freaking flying into buildings, and so are the creatures. They're flying into buildings too, just being destroyed and shit like that. And it's great. I love it.
Same thing for my show.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. And this right here is just like...
It's like a town.
Is it a town?
It's like a park.
It just has like a Krispy Kreme in it, but there's like nothing huge in there. It's not even a big-ass town. It's just... whatever.
It's got Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need to get Rita in that Krispy Kreme, and she goes in there and she...
Eats a donut.
And
I was like, how evil.
Oh my God, son! I think you could hear my eye roll. I'm like, really? I just stop. So, anyways, I guess Jason has to save his father because reasons, whatever. He can feel good about himself later. Anyways, the Zords come together and eventually make the Megazord. And wait. Rita has a power coin. It's green.
Yeah.
Where's her Zord at? Or is it just Goldar?
Oh, no, she just gets Goldar.
I recall that the green Zord was the Dragon Zord.
Yeah, with the flute.
Whatever. Anyways, she gets a Zord by Goldar. They fight in CGI, and of course they win. And then we get a cameo of the OG Power Rangers, best scene in the movie.
Oh yeah, and then during this fight, there was this scene where I think the Red Ranger destroyed a Camaro.
Yeah, and he said, "Sorry, Bumblebee."
I was like, "Keep Bumblebee's name out your mouth."
You keep Bumblebee's name out your damn mouth.
Okay. You screamed that into the microphone. Jeez. Have some decency. To scream away from the microphone into the void. It's too late now.
I got onto the floor.
You got onto the yeah.
That makes it better.
Golly. All right. Look, this movie was awful to me. It was boring. The action was boring. Everything is boring in this movie. What do you give this movie, boy?
Like a 1.
It gets the worst one that I could possibly give an action movie, and we've been watching mostly nothing but action movies, and this is another one.
Pretty bad.
Pretty rough. Okay. And then they teased the Green Ranger, and at the time of us recording this today, the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank, he passed away.
Yikes.
You know, and I don't know. You said that we're kind of developing a pattern here.
Yeah, because the last when we did Batman and Robin,
and then Kevin Conroy passed away. The next movie is nothing to do with Power Rangers or Marvel or DC or anything like that, and I've never seen it. This movie here was a request. Somebody requested this for us to watch this.
it's like if I see something like like Thor coming out of the ground or something, I'm like, all right.
I don't know what's gonna happen, son. The next movie is also a request as well, but
It's a pretty good one.
we'll see. We haven't even seen it yet.
I'm trying to be positive. We've been watching nothing but like mediocre to bad movies lately.
Well, I gotta let this one be a 1, and you know, we'll keep it at that. But people, do me a favor. Okay, like, subscribe, click the bells, do the buttons, all that stuff. Whatever they ask you to do, let's just do it. All right, help your old Uncle Jugg out. Is that too creepy? Help your Uncle Jugg?
I mean, as long as no one gets mad about Papa H, then you should be fine.
Oh well. Yeah, because the next one will be available
When it's ready.